Hello and welcome to Prepare for IELTS. I'm Ian, a former IELTS examiner and a native speaker, and in this video we're looking at a Part 2 speaking cue card to describe a positive change you made in your life. And we have to say what it was, why you did it, who you did it with, and explain how you feel about the change. And maybe the picture on this slide will give you some idea what we're going to talk about. So in this video, we'll show you a model answer with some fantastic Band 9 language. The more of that you can use, the higher your grade will be. Then we'll read through our answer so you can hear the language in context, and then there's a quiz to see how much you've learned. So on with the model answer and the great language, and we're starting with the fantastic verb to take up. And if you take up a sport or an activity, you begin doing it. So you might take up cycling, you might take up playing the guitar, and of course this is a phrasal verb. It's great to include phrasal verbs in your speaking answer. Next piece of language, and this is another lovely expression. If you have time on your hands, then there's a period of time when you have nothing you must do. You are completely free. So this is an idiomatic phrase. Again, these are absolutely great in your speaking test. And here's another one. If you are at a loose end, you're not busy, you have no commitments, and you have no things that you must do. It sounds fantastic. If you use this expression, the IELTS examiner will give you a lot of credit because it's an idiomatic expression. Next piece of great language, a golden opportunity, a great chance to do or achieve something. And if you binge on something, you eat or you consume something very quickly in large quantities in a way which is not controlled. So you can binge on videos. If there's a certain series that you love, you might watch every single episode. You can also binge drink, to drink lots of alcohol, or you can binge on snacks. So a really great verb. If you extol the virtues of something, you praise it and you recommend it. So you might extol the virtues of meditation or the virtues of getting up early. And if you feel self-conscious, you're nervous or anxious because you're worried what other people think about you. If you go out running and you are a little bit fat and you run very slowly and you're out of breath, then you might feel a bit self-conscious. Oh, goodness me, all those people are looking at me. If you're petrified, then you're very frightened or scared. So it's great to know adjectives connected with feelings because you nearly always have to refer to and describe your feelings. Of course, you can say afraid or frightened or scared, but petrified is stronger. And it's also a more complex word. The examiner will give you credit. And if you collapse, then you fall down suddenly because you do not have strength or support. So you can see the person on this picture has collapsed. People sometimes collapse after they've been running. And if you're a bit chubby, you're slightly overweight. So you can say that somebody is fat. Not a very nice phrase to use. You can say that they are overweight. That sounds a bit more medical. And you can say they're a bit chubby. It sounds friendlier and not as strong or aggressive. If you shed a few kilos, you lose some weight. So you might say, oh, I really need to shed a few kilos, or you can shed a few pounds. And if you jump at the chance, then you accept an opportunity very quickly or very enthusiastically. So if somebody says to you, would you like to come on a trip around the world with me? You might think that's a fantastic chance, a golden opportunity, and you'll jump at the chance. Oh, yes, please. If you get hooked on something, or you are hooked on it, then you enjoy doing it very much and you cannot stop doing it. So you might get hooked on running, or you might get hooked on anything which is a bit addictive, that makes you want to do it again and again. And an adrenaline rush. This is a physical feeling of excitement, and it's caused when the body releases a chemical or a hormone connected with faster heart rate and excitement. So you can get an adrenaline rush from doing something exciting like parachuting or bungee jumping, for example. Anything that might be a bit frightening but is also exciting. If something raises your spirits, it cheers you up, it makes you feel better and feel happier and feel more cheerful. And self-esteem, this is the belief in your own ability, your own quality and your own value. So if you have high self-esteem, you have a good opinion of yourself. Learn words beginning with self. They're very useful. We have the adjective self-reliant and lots of other words like that. If you stick at something, then you continue doing it, even when it's difficult or when you meet obstacles or challenges. So maybe you have a difficult course at college or university, you think about stopping, but you stick at it. You don't give up, you continue. And to pour down means to rain very hard. So it was pouring down. And of course, it's great to know complex language connected with the weather, because you can often use this to add extra details. You can say, I went out, it was freezing cold and pouring down. Willpower, this is the ability to control your thoughts and the way you behave. So if you're running and you really want to stop, you use your willpower, which makes you carry on. And stamina is the strength to do something difficult, which might take a long time. And so again, when you're running, you need stamina to keep going. If you're upbeat, then you're full of hope and happiness. Of course, you can say you're cheerful or happy, but use a different and more complex word. You can say that you are upbeat. And a gregarious person loves being with other people, is very sociable and loves socializing. Okay, now we're going to read through the full answer so you can see that great language in context. The thing I've done recently, which I've found so beneficial, is taking up running. I started right at the beginning of the pandemic. My classes were cancelled and I found myself stuck in my apartment with time on my hands at a bit of a loose end. I realised this was a golden opportunity to sort out my priorities. I was binging on YouTube videos, seeking inspiration, when suddenly I came across this Australian extolling the virtues of physical exercise. I ordered running shoes and a high-vis vest there and then. The first time I ventured out, I felt really self-conscious. Everybody I passed seemed to be staring at me. As well as that, after 2 minutes of gentle jogging, I was petrified I was going to collapse or have a heart attack. I realised it would be more fun to run with somebody, so I texted a classmate who was a bit chubby and keen to shed a few kilos. He jumped at the chance. Slowly but surely, we improved. We pushed each other on. Within a month, we could manage 4 kilometres without stopping. We really got hooked on it. You get a huge adrenaline rush when you run. It raises your spirits and gives you self-esteem. So, I'm immensely proud of myself. I stuck at it even when it was freezing cold or pouring down. I've proved to myself that I have willpower and stamina, and I've become more upbeat, more gregarious, and my powers of concentration have definitely shot up. Okay, it's quiz time. Let's see if you can remember some of the great language we've shown you in this video. First question. The ability to control your thoughts and how you behave is called, of course, it's called your willpower. Question 2. When they offered me a fantastic job in IT, I something at the chance. What did you do? Well, of course, you jumped at the chance. You thought it was a golden opportunity. So you said, yes, please, immediately. I would love that. Next question. I was at a bit of a something end last night, so I went to see a movie. you were, of course, at a bit of a loose end. You had time on your hands, you had nothing special to do. And a person who loves being with other people can be described as, of course, gregarious. If you're upbeat, you're quite cheerful. If you're self-conscious, then you're aware how other people think about you. And of course, your self-esteem is how you feel about yourself. Now, can you find the missing phrase? What do we call a great chance to do or achieve something? Of course, it is a golden opportunity. And if something cheers you up and makes you feel better, it raises your spirits. Next question. When it rains very heavily, we can say that it pours down. And which phrase means to lose a bit of weight? And of course the answer is to shed a few kilos.